When you first left, it was as though a piece of my soul departed with you, leaving behind an emptiness I never knew could be so consuming. The realization of how much I would miss you hit me like a tidal wave, catching me off guard with its intensity. I found myself wandering through crowds, searching for your familiar face among strangers, yearning for just a glimpse of you. My phone became both a lifeline and a torture device, as I hesitated before dialing your number, knowing deep down that you wouldn't answer. Yet, the longing to hear your voice, even just for a moment, was irresistible. Never before had I experienced such a visceral craving for someone's touch, for the warmth of your hugs that used to envelop me in a sense of security and belonging. In the past, I had approached relationships with a casual ease, confident in my ability to move on when necessary. But with you, it was different. With you, I discovered depths of emotion I never knew existed within me. As days turned into weeks, I found myself submerged in memories of our time together, each one a bittersweet reminder of what I had lost. Your laughter echoed in the recesses of my mind, your silly jokes now a poignant reminder of the joy you brought into my life. It was as though a part of me remained tethered to you, unable to fully let go. The emptiness within me seemed to grow with each passing day, a relentless ache that refused to be ignored. I struggled to find solace in the mundane activities that used to bring me comfort, my thoughts continually drifting back to you. Sleep became elusive, my nights haunted by dreams of what could have been, of the life we had planned together. I longed to reach out to you, to hear your voice one last time, but pride and fear held me back. Admitting my mistakes felt like an admission of weakness, a betrayal of the facade of strength I had carefully constructed around myself. And yet, deep down, I knew that I had to confront my own shortcomings if there was any hope of reconciliation. The chaos within me mirrored the chaos of the world around me, leaving me feeling lost and adrift. I retreated into solitude, seeking refuge from the storm raging within my own heart. The outside world seemed to blur into insignificance, as I grappled with the tumultuous emotions threatening to overwhelm me. It was only in the silence of solitude that I could confront the truth of my feelings, the depth of my love for you laid bare in all its raw vulnerability. I had never known love like this before, a love that consumed me whole and left me breathless in its wake. And yet, it was a love I had taken for granted, assuming it would always be there, until it wasn't. The realization of what I had lost hit me like a punch to the gut, leaving me reeling with regret and longing. If only I had known then what I know now, I would have fought harder to keep you by my side. I would have cherished every moment we shared, instead of allowing petty grievances to drive us apart. But regrets are a bitter pill to swallow, and I knew that I couldn't undo the past. All I could do was take responsibility for my actions and try to make amends. I needed to find the courage to reach out to you, to lay my heart bare and beg for your forgiveness. With each passing day, the weight of your absence grew heavier, threatening to crush me under its unbearable burden. I knew that I couldn't go on like this, trapped in a cycle of grief and regret. I needed to take action, to reclaim control of my own destiny before it was too late. And so, with a trembling hand and a heart heavy with longing, I reached for my phone once more, determined to take the first step towards healing the rift between us. For I knew, deep down, that no matter how much time passed, you would always be the one I longed for, the one I couldn't bear to live without. Have you ever found yourself tangled in the delicate web of unspoken feelings, waiting with bated breath for someone to bare their soul to you? It's a precarious position to be in, isn't it? The silent dance of emotions, the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air, weaving a tapestry of uncertainty and longing. In the midst of this intricate dance, have you dared to reveal your own heart's desires? Or have you succumbed to the silent agony of what-ifs, trapped in a labyrinth of hesitation and doubt? Love, they say, is a pure emotion, untainted by the complexities of human interaction. It's a force that binds us together, transcending barriers and defying logic. Yet, despite its inherent simplicity, we often find ourselves grappling with its complexities, afraid to unveil the depth of our emotions for fear of rejection or ridicule. But what if the object of our affection is also ensnared in this intricate web of emotions, yearning to break free from the shackles of silence? What if, by withholding our own feelings, we inadvertently prolong the agony of both parties involved? It's a notion worth pondering, isn't it? The idea that by confessing our love, we not only liberate ourselves from the burden of uncertainty but also grant the other person the opportunity to reciprocate or respectfully decline. Love, after all, is not about possessing or being possessed, it's about mutual understanding and respect. And what better way to foster such understanding than by laying bare the contents of our hearts, unencumbered by fear or inhibition? But alas, the path to love is seldom smooth, fraught with obstacles and detours that test the very fabric of our resolve. We worry about the repercussions of our actions, the potential fallout of confessing our deepest desires. What if they reject us? What if they laugh in our face or worse, ignore our confession altogether? These are valid concerns, of course, but they pale in comparison to the agony of living with regret, of wondering what could have been if only we had dared to speak our truth. Life, they say, is unpredictable, a kaleidoscope of moments both fleeting and profound. And in the grand scheme of things, our hesitations and insecurities seem insignificant, mere blips on the radar of existence. So why not seize the moment, embrace the uncertainty, and declare our love with unwavering conviction? For in doing so, we reclaim our power, assert our agency, and pave the way for a future filled with clarity and purpose. But you may argue that the situation is far more complex than mere words can convey. Perhaps there are extenuating circumstances that render such declarations untenable, or maybe the timing simply isn't right. These are valid points, to be sure, but they should not deter us from pursuing our heart's desires with unwavering determination. Consider this: perhaps the object of our affection is also wrestling with similar doubts and insecurities, unsure of how to broach the subject without risking rejection or embarrassment. By taking the first step, by mustering the courage to lay our feelings bare, we not only alleviate their burden but also create an opportunity for genuine connection and understanding. In the grand tapestry of life, every thread counts, every moment significant in its own right. And while the prospect of confessing our love may seem daunting, it pales in comparison to the regret of remaining silent, of wondering what could have been if only we had dared to speak our truth. So why wait for the perfect moment when we can create it ourselves? Why linger in the shadows of uncertainty when we can step into the light and declare our love with unwavering conviction? The universe, after all, rewards those who dare to dream, who refuse to be bound by fear or doubt. So take heart, dear friend, and know that you are not alone in your journey. Trust in the power of love, in the resilience of the human spirit, and know that whatever the outcome, you are stronger for having dared to love with all your heart. It's not about the words we speak or the actions we take, but the courage to embrace the uncertainty of love and emerge stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. So go forth, dear friend, and let your heart be your guide, for in the end, love will always find a way.